Watch the ride.
Do not be fooled by this snow over here. The roads are actually dry. It's above freezing. The snow last night landed on a load of stuff around. And yes, I suppose the farmer was right. How did he know? Like a mini snowball to the face. And if you're thinking it's spicy, but it's snowing, why are you not out in the snow on Derek? Well, A, I've done that. I will just drop it again. But there is kind of a development, possibly, in the story of that. If you remember, I mentioned in a video after it that I smacked my shin really hard. Well, the swelling came up, went away. I still have a lump about the size of a 10p floating around in my shin. I don't know if it's still a persistent bit of swelling or what, but it could equally be a chip of bone. Which might explain why it hurts so much. But I've got to go to the doctor soon anyway, because I've got to discuss my back. I haven't been to a doctor now for so long. I used to have to go all the time because I get sick all the time when I was at work and they'd accuse me of being a liar. And then I'd have to go and get a doctor's notes and all that stuff. Funny thing is, when I quit that job, I quit getting ill. I've had just a handful of colds since I left. Not many at all, to be fair, probably less than that. My IBS practically cured itself. That job was killing me. I was a sickly person when I worked there. I was getting sick and ill and having problems all the time. As soon as I leave, as I say, it all goes away. It's one of the reasons I want to try and stay self-employed, because I don't want my health to deteriorate again. Oh, come on! Oh, well, I need to do 30, I suppose. Anyway, no, the reason I've got to go is because I'm getting all sorts of problems with my back of late. You know, I'm getting, I think I've got some nerve problems because I've got, problems where I get numbness in my legs, in my back, and my neck, and I've got 2 vertebrae that stick out massively further than anything else, and I don't know why that is. But then equally, after my really bad crash, when they said, oh, we must log roll him and carefully check his spine, they never did it. I never had my spine checked after that, so I could have done anything at that point. So I've got to go and see him about that. And what else? Oh, and I've got a ganglion which I've had on the tendon between my little finger and the next finger for since the crash, and it's not been a problem up until now, and it's a little bit bigger, and it's now starting to hurt. So basically I have lumps and bumps all over the place that hurt, and I need to go and have a looked at. Nothing serious stuff, lumps and bumps, you know what I mean. Bony stuff. But I've got a bony lump to show you, Doc. Whoa, it's pretty windy. Oh, jeez. It's only a puddle. Calm down. It's loosey-goosey, loosey-goosey. Let the bike ride the wind. Don't make me jump. Don't make me have to jump it. Green! Then we go! That's the way it works! There's a reason for that. It's in case emergency vehicles go through and fucking kill you sideways! Or someone jumping a red. I hate people who jump the lights, especially when they're in something that freaking big and there's a bike in between them. Second I see them go, I go. I haven't got a choice. And what do they think's going to happen? I'm just going to sit there and have them both pull away over the side of me, or I'm going to pull away at the same rate as them? No, I have to go. You've just forced me into not jumping, but going earlier than I'd like to. Penis. Everyone's still got snow all over the tops of their cars. Because, you're not supposed to remove that off, because, when it slightly melts and you stop it, you have to brake for some reason, and then it covers your windscreen, and then you can't see what's going on, and you crash into someone and kill them. Oh, where was I? Yeah, so I'm going to have to go and get my back looked at and stuff. I think it's just, if you remember years ago I made a video called The Curse of Height. Well, this is kind of the curse of height too, it's coming to get me. I've had a couple of comments from people from when I'm working in the garage saying, oh, you're too tall for that work surface, you need to raise it up. I can't. Those cupboards are full of stuff. And also they're not sort of, I'd have to literally build plinths about a foot tall. I'd rather just use a chair and sit down. I just wasn't at that point of filming. Very often what I'm doing when I'm filming is different to how I do it when I'm not filming, because I don't have to worry about camera angles. And my back problems do not stem from working in the garage. My back problems stem from being tall in a world that's not designed for people of my size. I know you laugh at that. It's not. If you're over 6 foot, well, generally over 6 foot, this world was not designed for you. Nothing is made to fit you. Beds are too small. I've been on this curse height video, I've been over it. But this is the strange thing, right? Even though I'm really tall, I'm a big guy, I'm tall, I'm wide, I'm a big guy. If I'm in a shop, people do not give me an extra inch of room. The other day, right, I'm in my local Tesco's. I'm using the self-service. I've got a couple of things I'm putting through. Bip, bip, bip. I'm really quick on the self-service, by the way. I'm like twice the speed of most people. I don't know what they're doing. They're just not, like, beep, 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 put it on the thing, pay the money. It's that simple. Just do it. Beep, beep, beep. Anyway. So I'm there. I've got this kid who's staring at me and has been following me around the shop and staring at me. She's about 5. And I've kind of ignored it because, yeah, I'm a tall guy and I'm in my bike gear and I look a bit weird. But I thought the parent might do something about it eventually. Well, while I'm at the self-service, this little girl is just to my right, staring at me and nothing else. And I was close to going, but I didn't. I resisted. She's then getting in the way of other people wanting to use the self-service. Eventually the mother comes along and moves her out of the way, because no one dares tell a child to get out of the way these days, because you don't want to be accused of abusing or beating it up, even though it's stood right in the frigging way. I see kids like dogs, okay? You are 100% responsible for your dog outside of the house, right? You are 100% responsible for your kid outside the house. So if it's being annoying, that means you have to do something about it. Other people don't like kids. Get them the fuck away from them. But if it's a dog, it's a big issue. If it's a kid, it's just a child. And if you're a parent, you probably hate me for saying that. But no, I'm sorry. I've worked in pubs. I've dealt with people with children. I've seen what they're like. You know, when they're at home, oh, don't throw anything on the floor. You're in the pub. Oh, throw food wherever you like. Oh, let's change your nappy and chuck it underneath this bench. Fuck off. Not all are like that, obviously, but a lot. Anyway. So she eventually gets moved out of the way, and another person comes up to the self-service next to me. I'm just finishing up at this point. So I'm putting my stuff in my bag. I've just got to make sure the order's right, because I'm on a bike. And not taking me long, you know. And as I'm doing this, some woman comes walking up next to me with a massive basket full of stuff, and she clearly wanted to use the self-service and was having problems holding up this basket. So she decides to ram it into my arm, and so my arm's out of the way so she can slam it into the self-service basket while I'm still using the self-service. And I look around and she goes, oh, sorry. And she then starts saying, I'm not you're not what? You've done everything you've done. I didn't say that to her, I just looked at her with a look of disbelief. As I turn around, and I mean like pivot on a sixpence, to walk out the shop, some fucking woman has decided she's going to just occupy the only piece of free space behind me, and she basically gets blatted up against a shelf. She goes, oh, I'm sorry. She was young, she didn't get hurt, it wasn't that hard. It was just literally, I turned around and I went to take a step and she was right there. I was no way of me knowing when I'm 6'4", she's like 5'5", stood directly behind me, like in my blind spot. I just turned around and walked and there she was, just bang. Now if you're a disabled person, people give you loads of room. If you're a fat person, people give you loads of room. When you're tall, they don't realise you have the same sorts of issues. I'm not saying I'm anything like a disabled person or a beastly fat person to the point that, you know, that they need to be classed as disabled or something like that. I'm just saying, we're tall. There is logistical issues with being in shops, small, undersized shops. Imagine yourself as an adult in one of those kids like garden doll houses. Okay, maybe a little bit bigger than that. But with loads of kids running around you that you can't see under your feet. See how long it is before you squish one of them and they're crying? I have to be so careful and so gentle as a person not to kill people as I'm moving around. Like me and Reno, for instance. Fucking dog went right for me then. Where was I? Yeah, no, Reno is only little. And she hurts me all the time. She literally steps on my legs, she steps on my feet, she sat on a broken toe, she pokes me, she scratches. She doesn't mean to do any of it, but she does. And yet I'm this massive guy, and I literally, nothing. I barely bumped into her at any point. I have to be too careful because I'm gonna hurt someone. You know, I turn around and walk into someone at a reasonable pace and they're just like blam on the floor. I might sound like some entitled prick, and I'm fucking not, okay? You can ask Reno out in public. I go out of my way to give extra people room, to be considerate, be courteous, to think ahead, like where are they going? Well, I won't stand where they're going. But as I'm out and about, I basically have members of the public pinging off me left, right and centre because they don't use their eyes in shops, they don't use them in the cars, and they don't use them when they're walking around. That's what concerns me the most. Seeing how oblivious and blind people are to you in a shop when you are 50% their size again. And yet when they're in a car and I'm a quarter of their size, how are they ever going to see me? It scares the crap out of me. Anyway, I'll catch you next time. Don't forget to leave a like. Bye bye. Oh, and there's merch and stuff. Support me. Ah! I'm gonna die!